Very warm welcome to this evening's performance of the Tudor Trilogy. Is everybody excited?
Yes!
Okay, we're getting better at the call and response. So that's the first bit of good news that we've all got. So, this evening's performance, there are 3 short plays, and I hope you're all ready to have some fun and maybe have a giggle at the expense of history. Wonderful. Right, we shall begin, he said loudly to the door, in the hope that people would hear him. Well, this is just silly now. No, it's beyond a joke. I shall have to go again. Oh, no, they got it right. Wonderful. In your own sweet time. Henry VIII was the most notorious and best-known figure of the Tudor dynasty. He changed the face of England and the religious landscape. But what he is most known for is his rapid succession of wives in order to produce a male heir. It is said that during the last years of Henry's reign, he grew increasingly anxious and wondered about his place in the afterlife. Maybe it was because he would have to face the women whom he had so easily cast aside. Should Henry meet his former wives, what would they say to him? Let's find out in Henry VIII's Dreams of Marriage.
Oh, being well sum as the King's Jester is not the easiest job. Sometimes I have to check in on King Henry at night, and if he's having bad dreams, wake him and provide entertainment. The King confided in me today that he's planning on having his current wife, Catherine Parr, arrested and thrown in the Tower of London in the morning. Ooh. I wonder if he has wife number 7 all picked out. Catherine of Aragon, Anne Boleyn, Jane Seymour, Anne of Cleves, and Catherine Howard. I've seen them all come and go. Mostly go. Deciding what to do with wife number 6 has made the King quite restless, so I better have good entertainment prepared in case I need to wake him. Ooh, the King appears to be dreaming right now.
Oh, Mother.
Henry, I hear you're planning to get rid of another wife? Outrageous.
Catherine, I thought you were dead. Died 3 years after our divorce.
Huh, did you really think that being dead would stop me from refusing to accept the divorce? 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 What divorce? I never accepted the idea that our marriage was invalid. No, I was your devoted and loving wife from the day of our marriage. And I thought you were devoted to me as well. Didn't you call yourself Sir Loyal Heart and wear my colours at your tournaments? I even encouraged you to support learning at your court. And then you're the one that's upset when all our babies died except for Mary? How do you think it made me feel? And I on the woman rule. My mother, Isabel of Castile, even led the troops into battle herself and sent that crackpot Christopher Columbus to sail west to the Orient. If Isabella could rule, so can our daughter Mary. But no, after 20 years, you all of a sudden claim that our marriage was never valid in the first place? That we've been living in sin all this time? That our daughter Mary is a bastard? I don't think so. It's you, my dear husband Henry, who's been acting like a bastard when you say this.
I needed a son to rule after me.
All this need a son business.
Hey, Annie, nice to see you here.
Wait a minute, you two can't be friends.
Oh, we bonded in the afterlife over how badly you treated us.
And how badly you treated our daughters, calling them illegitimate and saying that women can't be good rulers. Oh, hey, hi, Lizzie.
I thought you treated me badly until I saw. Be glad she decided to actually wear a hat tonight instead of carrying it tucked beneath her arm. One of her favorite but unnerving tricks.
For 7 years, you pursued me, telling me your first marriage was invalid and that as soon as you got a divorce, you would marry me. Finally, in 1533, we couldn't wait any longer. I was pregnant, after all. And the Parliament declared you, Henry, head of the English Church. After that, it was quite simple to have the Archbishop of Canterbury name you a bachelor, so that we could get married. But you're upset that my baby was a girl, Elizabeth. Just because I like to speak my mind, you got tired of me and had me executed. And, by the way, Henry, our daughter Elizabeth will rule for 44 years and will be a great queen. Lizzie, you will.
I know. One day when I'll say, I may have the body of a weak and feeble woman, I have the heart and stomach of a king.
Just make sure that that stomach of a king is not your father's.
How can she say that? Why are these women so critical of me? Why did I ever get married? Get these wives away from me!
Ah, my lord, are we having bad dreams? How about some entertainment? Come on. He's dreaming again!
Oh, Charles Brandon! Oh, Catherine, Jane, my dear third wife. You were always so meek and mild. At last, the wife I have liked has come to me in my dreams.
Meek and mild? I was scared half to death. Well, not actually to death, but you know what I mean. Phew! Now I'm dead, I can say what I like. You never liked me. You just liked the fact that I had a son, Edward. But did you care about me? No. After I died in childbirth, you married 3 more times.
But I did it to secure the succession.
No, you did it to secure your ego. Sending portrait painters all over Europe to see what future wives would look like. And did any of them want to marry you? I don't think so. Christina of Lorraine, when you courted her, she knew that you'd had Anne put to death. She suspected you'd had Catherine poisoned, and she figured I died in childbirth because you didn't provide proper medical care. So she said if she had 2 heads, she would gladly give you 1. Oh, and when you sent word to Mary of Guise that the 2 of you were large and therefore might suit, she said yes, but I have a very little neck.
Well, you can't trust portrait painters anyway. I mean, look at my second wife. I called her the Flanders Mary.
I heard that. I had come all the way from Germany. I was seasick. I had just landed. Did you wait for me to come to London? No. You rushed down to see me barging without telling me who you are. And take one look at this big, fat man in my room. I'm crazy anyway. Who are you to tell me I'm not good looking? Then you decided our marriage wasn't valid. I couldn't wait to sign on the dotted line. I got my choice of manor houses, a big allowance, and freedom to do whatever I wanted. I was buying new dresses every day.
That's true, Anne. You never did look so good till after the divorce. Did I make a mistake with wife number 4? Oh no, get these wives away from me!
My lord, are we having more bad dreams? How about some more entertainment? Come back, come on.
The sweetest princess of the Spanish princess looked good too. I don't think the Pope would do.
And then think how you treated me.
Catherine, the wife that betrayed me. You were all covered in thorns, but where was the rose?
Betrayed you? What about you? I was 19. You were 50. Of course I got bored. So I had a little fun with my boyfriend. I thought he was cute. So we were a little indiscreet, especially while you were sick or away at court. But for this I get beheaded? What about you? What's all this double standard stuff anyways, huh? You know what? You can at least treat your next wife better. Don't I sound like patient Griselda, that twit in the medieval stories, who's always being used as an example of how women ought to behave. She did everything her husband asked. And when he decided to divorce her, that was her only request, that he treat his next wife better. Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded. Maybe wife number 6, Catherine Parr, will be the one who survives.
Hey, I think that's a great idea.
Cancel the arrest order for the Queen in the morning. I may be bored with Catherine Parr, but I don't have the stomach to take wife number 7. Let's have some entertainment to celebrate my decision.
All right.
was one of the most iconic and beloved figures of the Tudor dynasty. She reigned as a single monarch for over 40 years and helped England prosper while maintaining stability. Given the role of women and the belief that they needed to be married, it's no surprise that Elizabeth had many suitors, both domestic and foreign. So many candidates were put forth as potential husbands that it ultimately felt like a revolving door of marriage negotiations. The way these negotiations were conducted almost seemed like a dating game. It might have looked something like this in the dating game.
Right. Lovely, lovely. Right, get them in there. Come on. Thank you. Yes. You over here, please. Thank you so much. Come on. Right.
Look here.
Never work with foreign dignitaries or
Here.
children.
Here. On that spot. Don't move. Right, yes.
You will,
That's
babe.
good.
Right, yes. Good. And the jingle, there's the... There we go. Get the tune we all love going.
Right, are we ready?
Oh, yeah. There it is. Jazzy today. Good evening and welcome to the dating game. So this week our task is to find a husband for this queen. It is a very important task. Indeed, her closest advisor has in fact said that we must have a husband for the queen so there is a king and the king can rule and then we can restore the masculine line of succession. He believes this is a task that is very, very important, and indeed he has said that were she not to marry, he would have no reason to go on living. He would completely have lost the will to live. And of course, he is very fussy about whom she might marry. Will she be as well? Let's find out as we play the dating game. Now, you all know the rules. The queen cannot know the identity of the bachelors, and the bachelors cannot know the identity of the queen. I will introduce the queen and the bachelors to you, the audience. Now, the queen has brought with her the chief gentlewoman of the Privy Chamber as an advisor. Right now. So, the queen is Elizabeth I. And the bachelors. Right, bachelor number 1 is Eric the 14th of Sweden. Bachelor Bachelor number 2 is the Habsburg Prince, the Archduke Charles. Bachelor number 3 is Francois, Duke of Alençon. And bachelor number 4 is Robert Dudley, Earl of Leicester. Now, Your Majesty, would you please describe yourself?
I am sure that it is the Lord's doing that I am queen. Unlike many queens who have foreign blood, I am mere English and proud of it. I'm a brave queen too. While I may have the body of a weak and feeble woman, I have the heart and stomach of a king. Though there is always pressure to marry, sometimes I think it would be better to be a beggar maid and single than a queen and married. I do, however, enjoy being courted. Some say I'd like to have the whole world running after me, and why not? I also love to receive gifts. I like getting them much more than giving them. I receive hands that I give with my little finger. This is especially appropriate as I have long, beautiful fingers. And this is Blanche Parry, who is here to advise me.
Lovely.
Well, I have known the Queen her whole life.
Really?
I had nursed her as an infant and I rocked her cradle. Now I take care of her as well as I can. I look after all her jewels and keep track of all the books she receives as gifts. The Queen and I are great readers.
Really, good Lord.
I'm so close to the Queen, I'm called the Trinity of Angels. That could work miracles. But I never use my influence to harm my Queen, no. I'm not entirely sure what we're doing here. No, I never married myself. I'm perfectly fine.
Right, well,
See why my mistress needs to.
and the bachelors! Please introduce yourselves. Bachelor number 1.
Well, I'm Swedish, a king, and very keen, very eager to marry. I'm a good Protestant, so that should make me attractive to a Protestant queen. I'm afraid my country is not such a wealthy one, so I need a wealthy wife. I also have a strange aversion to pea soup.
Right. Bachelor number 2!
I come from the most powerful, important family in the world. And some say that I'm not so intensely Catholic that I might be willing to put up with a Protestant wife if she brought me enough power.
Oh, I see. Bachelor number 3.
Ma petite reine. A number of my brothers have been kings of France, but since I am the youngest son, the only way for me to be a king is to marry a queen. Je suis sûr que vous êtes une belle reine. I'm afraid I am not so good looking. I had smallpox at the age of 8, which harmed my looks, and my brother Henri calls me Little Monkey. But perhaps frog would be a better description. But while I may look like a frog, I am very good company.
Right. Bachelor number 4.
My family is known for being able to bounce back. My grandfather was an extremely clever lawyer who was able to raise lots of money for his sovereign. Unfortunately, the next king chopped off his head. You might think that did it for my family, but my father rose to become a duke and was able to run the country for his boy king until that king's untimely death and my father's failed attempt at a coup through the marriage of his youngest son to the king's cousin.
3 times.
But they may have both been executed, sure, fine, but luckily I was already married, and so here I am, now, by the way, I love horses, I love horses, and will be able to pick out any of the best ones for you.
Right. Well, Your Majesty, do you have any questions for these ardent bachelors?
Well, I will never marry someone I have never seen. What do each of you think of this?
I would come over to visit any time. In fact, I'm on a ship right now on my way.
Wait a minute, turn that ship round. I haven't invited you yet.
But as for myself, I might be willing to come over in secret, in disguise, to meet the Queen who says that she must see a potential consort before committing. I might even be part of the imperial entourage right now.
I might say I long for your presence, but only when I know you are far away.
Still, given the pressures of Parliament and my council, I do not want to completely dash your hopes.
I'll come over anytime. I will dance and make you marry. I'll even be happy to exchange rings with you.
I might like that for a time.
Huh?
But after a while, I will be so glad to get rid of you that when you leave, while I might weep in public, I'll dance a jig privately in my bedroom for the very joy of it.
Maybe I'll dance with you.
That's another fool, please.
Well, if this is the queen I think it is, I'm already here. In fact, I think that she can't stand not to have me at her side.
That's right. You are like my little dog. When people see you, they know I am nearby.
Your Majesty, do you have any further questions for these bachelors before you make your decision?
Oh, yes. Have any of you been married before? And if so, what happened to your wife? And what do you predict will happen to you in the future, as this may well affect how I decide?
I have never been married before, and I'm very eager to marry you. The soothsayers predict that I will go insane, lose my throne, and die of poison after eating arsenic-laced pea soup. But who knows what the future will bring?
I have not been married before, but I foresee a long courtship. But if I cannot marry a queen, then I may have to take a valiant princess as consolation prize. While bachelor number 4 brags of his love of horses, I plan to found a stud for horses of Andalusian origin in Lipica, Slovenia. Thus I will be made famous for playing a leading role in the creation of the Lipizan breed. Far more important than being a simple master of the horse.
I heard that comment! Oh, monsieur, it is not your turn. And, dear queen, ma petite reine, not only have I never been married before, but I will die of despair if you do not marry me. I'm afraid my mother might say if I fail in the Netherlands, that it would be better if I died young. But 29 is awfully young.
Do not worry. If you die young, I will send your mother a condolence note that says that my loss is much worse than hers, that she has other sons, but that you are my one true love. But do not take that to mean I actually mean it.
Bachelor number 4.
Well, as I mentioned, I have been married before, and it was most tragic that my last wife was found at the bottom of some stairs with her neck broken. But, of course, I had nothing to do with it because I was away at court at the time, despite some of the nasty gossip among the courts of Europe, including that outrageous Scottish queen when she was in France. I am completely innocent of my beloved Amy's death. And I was cleared by coroner's inquest. I very much hope that my future is as a king of England. Though, at the age of 8, the one I adore did tell me that she would never marry. Perhaps I can change her mind?
Do not count on it. I will have here but one mistress and no master.
Oh, if she is not interested, I am. I love being a married queen. I've been married 3 times and would be happy to marry any of these fine young suitors. Even that horse groom. So long as my new husband would help me become the Queen of England.
Yes, you've been married 3 times. And you were widowed by your second husband when the house was in blew up and he was found strangled in the garden. And very soon afterwards, you married the man that everyone said was his murderer.
And I warned you to look through your fingers, that your behaviour was making everyone talk, and that if you didn't clean up your act, you would be in trouble.
Well, not everyone said he was a murderer. Besides, he kidnapped me, ravished me.
I'll tell you later.
So, to protect my honor, I had to marry him. Anyways, the Pope happily annulled that marriage. Now he's insane in a Danish prison, and I am free to marry again.
Mary. You're not on till next week, thank you. Bye-bye. What now? That's most of it. I'm not. So, apparently, Actually, there is another bachelor who is insisting on playing, and it's such slim pickings we let him in.
I escaped purgatory to join the show. I've been married 6 times, and I'm looking for wife number 7. The whole reason to get married is to have sons. Sons, lots of sons.
Dad? Is that you?
Who's that?
Your younger daughter.
Mary? Is that you?
No, it's not Mary.
Who?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Yes, Father, Elizabeth. I am the Protestant queen.
Oh, yes, Lizzie, I forgot about you after I had your mother beheaded. When you were 3 years old.
Well, living well is the best revenge. I plan to rule for more than 40 years and not to marry any of these bachelors. This is the only one I will marry. I have already joined myself in marriage to a husband, namely, the Kingdom of England.
Right, well, that's our game ruined. Go on. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. You weren't so bad. Join us next time on the dating game when we tackle the inevitable Prince Harry problem. Goodbye!
So, we have one more left. The heart and stomach of a king. The fact that Elizabeth ruled for so long as a female monarch defied the contemporary conventions of the time. Her father, Henry VIII's, fanatical obsession with a male heir eventually resulted in him having a son, Edward VI. However, Edward did not last, and it was his daughters that carried on the Tudor dynasty, and it was Elizabeth who succeeded. What would Henry have to say about his daughter ruling? Let's take a look. Here is The Heart and Stomach of a King.
Who's that?
Mate, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
2, 3, 4. God save the Queen!
Sir Walter,
Thee?
you come most carefully upon your hour.
'Tis struck 5 and a storm be brewing. Get thee inside, Sir Peregrine.
For this relief, much thanks. It is bitter weather, and I'm sick at heart when I think of the Spanish possibly attacking us.
Have you had quiet watch?
Not a mouse stirring.
Well, if you see Lord Robert or Sir Francis, that the rivals of my watch, bid them make haste, and I bid thee farewell.
I think I hear them. Stand hard! Who's that?
Rise for this ground!
And liegeman to the great queen.
2, 3, 4. God save Queen!
I bid you good night.
Oh, farewell, honest soldier. Who hath relieved you?
Sir Walter has my place. I give you good night.
Holla! Holla, Sir Walter.
Is Lord Robert there?
A piece of him. I'm so worried about the Spanish, I'm leaving pieces of myself all over court these days.
Well, welcome, Lord Robert, and welcome, good Sir Francis.
See you both the sky? That cloud with enormous belly and what looks to be a crown upon its head.
It looks like the old King Henry.
And so it does.
The storm hath made it dark. The old king hath disappeared in a lightning strike. Might it not actually have been the king returned upon this terrible time that faces our good Protestant nation?
No, it is but our fantasy.
Peace break the off, look where it comes!
In the figure of the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar. Speak to it, Lord Robert.
Look it not like the king, mark it, Lord Robert.
Most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder.
Question it, Lord Robert.
It will be spoke to.
What art thou that usurp this time of night in that Fat. So fat, so very fat, kingly form. By heaven, I charge thee, speak!
'Tis offended.
I did hear them say in my youth he was sensitive about his ways.
See, it stalks away.
Wait! Stop! Speak, I charge thee! Speak!
'Tis gone, and will not answer.
What think me now? You are pale and trembling, could this not be more than mere fantasy? What think you on it?
Before my God, I might not disbelieve were it not for the sensible and true avouch of mine own eyes.
Is it not like the king?
Thou art to thyself. Such was the very armour he had on, so gigantic, only he could wear it. This bodes some strange eruption to our state.
Could it be that such a portentous, I mean, enormous figure, could this coming to our watch speak to our forthcoming battle with Spain?
If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily foreknowing may avoid, speak!
'Tis gone.
Break we now our watch, and by my advice, let us impart what we have seen tonight unto our queen.
Let's do it.
God save the Queen! I've had word with him.
I have heard from my dear Lord Robert that he and other trusty men have seen the ghost of my father. There is much worry in the land that the Spanish are coming to invade us, to take over our country, to kill the Queen, me, and to bring with them the Spanish Inquisition. After all, no one expects the Spanish. The Spanish Armada, known as Invincible, will soon be here at our shores. Lord Burleigh and Francis Walsingham say that I must stay in London where it is safe, but I want to go to Tilbury, to let the troops know how much I appreciate them and that I am willing to stand with them. Should I go? And what would I say to them? I just don't know.
England is in the worst crisis of the century. And there is no king on the throne, only my daughter Lizzie. Lizzie, Lord bless her.
Say you that the battlefield is unfit for women's imbecilities?
Yes, that is no place. It's unmeet for women's imbecilities.
Is it meet for men's imbecilities, old man? Go to Tilbury, Elizabeth. Speak to the people.
Who art thou, dread queen, to give me such expert advice?
I am the ghost of Boudicea, queen of the Iceni tribe. 1,500 years ago, I fought the invaders, the Romans, just as you are fighting the Spanish and Rome now. They came, they pillaged the land, they ravished my daughters, they whipped me, but did we give up? No, we did not. This is what I told them.
Maybe you should be quiet.
I do suppose, be quiet, old man. My lovers and my friends, that there is no man here, but doth well understand that liberty and freedom is to be preferred beyond thraldom and bondage. You do, at this time, I doubt not, perfectly understand how much free poverty is to be preferred before great riches when enslaved. Therefore, my well-beloved citizens, friends, and kinsfolk, for I think we are all kin, since we were born and dwell in this isle.
That is amazing, Boudicea. When I became queen, I told the people that every one of you, and as many as are English, are my children and kinsfolk. I knew we were kindred queens.
I also told them that I came forth not as one born of noble ancestors to fight for riches, but as one to defend our liberty. And I said that we had to determine in battle either to die with honour or else to vanquish the enemy by plain force. And I wanted them to know that I, being woman, was fully resolved to fight. As for the men, especially if they were like your father, if they wanted to, they could live and be taken into bondage.
I object!
Your daughter is twice the king you ever were, even if she has half your stomach.
Oh, the flat flesh, I wish you would melt away.
Stomach. That gives me an idea for the speech you have roused me to give. Thank you, Boudicea. I am heading down to Tilbury. My loving people, we have been persuaded by some that are careful of our safety to take heed how we commit ourselves to armed multitudes. But I assure you I do not desire to live to distrust the loving hearts of my faithful subjects. Let tyrants fear. I have always so behaved myself that, under God, I have placed my chiefest strength and safeguard in the loyal hearts and goodwill of my subjects. And therefore I am come amongst you now, as you see, at this time, not for my recreation and disport, but being resolved, in the midst and heat of battle, to live and die amongst you all, to lay down for my God and for my honour and my people, my honour and my blood, even in the dust. I know I have the body but of a weak and feeble woman, but I have the heart and stomach of a king, and of a king of England too. No, wait a minute. I have the heart and stomach of a queen, and of a queen of England too. What's all this weak and feeble woman business? We women are strong and powerful.
Wonderful. We run to take our places on our ships and fight the enemy.
This thrice-renowned queen, this Amazonian queen, is another Boudicea who was once England's happy queen. Boudicea showed constant courage until her death, and now these virtues are revived in the wonderful courage of our Queen, Elizabeth!
The Spanish ships are all capsized thanks to our great English Navy and the weather. Oh, so fortunate the fact that God, luckily, is an Englishman.
And our Queen are safe.
Let us all cheer our Queen in our great victory!
Our great Queen Elizabeth has shown the ability of daughters to rule. Be gone, old man, be gone as fast as you can waddle out.
Thank you for joining the Cabinet of Curiosities as we did the production, and thank you, Dr. Levin, for writing an amazing play.
Thank you for such a great production. I totally appreciate it. Let's give them all one more round of applause.